Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm one Jin.
Today we are going to talk about Renfield.
Renfield.
If you don't know, he's from the original Bram Stoker's Dracula. He plays the, what do you call it, familiar of Dracula. And this is a reinterpretation of that very old story where Renfield takes center place. Full spoilers ahead of the movie. Here we go. It's been out for a while, but I only recently watched this movie, Wanjin. And I gotta say, it's I really like the characters and all. It's just I felt like the plane started off strong, and then it just like ended in a very I don't know, to me, redundant kind of ending. I mean, I think the actors were really great. Nicolas Hoult and Nicolas Cage, and then Awkwafina was great too. It just I think they had a great premise, and then they just said, "Now what do we do with it?" And ended up, you know, it's like a what do you call it? PowerPoint version of a good story. It checked all the marks to give some character to dramas, but it just went by too fast, I felt. And
you know what I feel? Well, first of all, I watched this movie only because of Nicolas Cage. Because personally, I'm a huge fan of Nicolas Cage.
Who isn't?
And for the past, I don't know, like couple decades, he has been bashed a lot for making some very poor choices in his appearance in movies. But it came to a point where he has like accumulated a reputation of making so many horrible movies that
cult status.
Yeah, it kind of became like a meme in itself. And do you know that there's also a movie called
Nicolas Cage.
Like Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, and he's like recruited by the CIA or something.
I know.
Yeah, they even made a movie like that. And to be honest, Nicolas Cage, in my perspective, is a brilliant actor. And he just, I don't know, he just has some low points in his life, I guess. And he had no choice but to appear in those movies.
So I think we know that for a fact, though?
Well,
you think?
I don't know.
Like,
I heard he had to pay back a lot of debt.
You think?
Yeah. And like before Ghost Rider, he made some awesome movies.
Face Off.
Yeah, Face Off and
Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas, The Rock. What else do we see him in? Gun in 60 Seconds. We also have what's it called? City of Angels?
You know, but I would say this though, like, he's one of those few actors that are still relevant.
Yeah, he is very relevant.
No, but like, here's the thing though, like, Nicolas Cage's career is like, I think, the norm though. You rarely see like an actor like continue to maintain his or her prestige and, you know, star power for decades though. The only one I can think of right now is Kevin Costner. You know, he had a hit drama now, Yellowstone, and like
we need to talk about that
later. Let's do that later though.
We need to talk about it. I'm dying to see it.
It's like in hip hop, no, Jay-Z is special because Jay-Z is relevant across 90s to 2000, 2010s, now 2020s. I think that's actually rare. But what's special about Nicolas Cage is, you know, like Val Kilmer, I guess. Like he just has his charm, and then he's willing to go. I always liked him because he's willing to take roles that I don't know about his personal situation, but I would say most actors don't do that.
Yeah. And I remember an episode in SNL where Andy Samberg dresses up as Nicolas Cage, and he's like making fun of Nicolas Cage for appearing in all these movies. Every time there's a movie star guest, he always dresses up as Nicolas Cage, and he has this like panel. He talks as a panel in this the Newsweek thing, the weekly news thing. And he always makes fun of Nicolas Cage by saying things like, my dream in my life has always been to appear in every movie ever made, and I've only accomplished a mere 90%, and blah, 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 blah. And the funny thing is, he does this in front of Liam Neeson, in front of Bradley Cooper, and all these other movie stars. And in one episode, Nicolas Cage actually comes in to play himself. And I respect the fact that he's willing to make fun of himself. He has no problem with that.
And you know what? One thing about Nicolas Cage too is he has a very unique look. I rarely see people that look like him. You know how sometimes you have actors, and then in your daily life or you're passing by, oh, that person looks like that person looks like that. I think like a Nicolas Cage is like Giselle Bundchen of movies, where like it's hard to describe, but I always found Nicolas Cage like fascinating how he looks. Is he handsome? Is he not handsome? Is he a normal looking guy or not? And then like even the roles he take, the spectrum is so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but in his defense though, I think his like failures of movie, you can't predict that though.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, he did choose some low budget ones, I guess. But he's not the only one with Range Rover. We also like Gary Oldman.
That's right.
He played a pimp and a police commissioner and a gang hitman and a Dracula.
With the dreads and everything.
Yeah.
You see him in Tarantino's old movie. What is that called?
Which one was it?
The one with like the runaway thing where James Gandolfini was also in.
No, True Romance.
Oh, True Romance. That's right.
That's not right. Tarantino directing. He
wasn't the director of the
movie.
movie.
He plays a very famous scene where his pee-pee gets boomed, and then he plays Yaman, like he does that Jamaican-esque thing.
Rastafari,
yeah. No, but Nicolas Cage is special in the. I think people also like Nicolas Cage because he doesn't have that I'm better than you thing going on. Yeah, because a lot of actors, I think, maybe deservedly so, have a ego, and they like to keep their brand prestige. But Nicolas Cage, I don't think he cared. Or he did and he didn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't anymore.
I guess he's been through something that kind of gave him more humility.
Here's the thing, though, Unjin. I do feel like he has an Academy Award, right, from Leaving Las Vegas. I think that has two opposite effects to actors. One is like, okay, I gotta get another one, and then I'm gonna keep being pristine. But I feel like actors are like, okay, now fuck it, I'm
gonna do whatever I want.
No, like I think you say this more often than me, like example, like Charlize Theron, like in Fast and Furious.
She was just in my mind right now.
Yeah, you mentioned it before. You're like, fuck it, let's have some fun.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Long Shot.
Oh yeah, he looks like Marilyn Manson with no makeup, by the way. Yeah. Hey! Shout out to ZZ. Oh, another person. Thank you, ZZ, for tuning in as always. I'm sorry I saw it late. Another person I want to shout out is Wonji. Can you like pop up our last video? A guy from India left a reply for us.
Oh, that's right.
Want to give a shout out in moving.
He was talking about moving. Yeah, he loves the show.
I remember the spelling. Leading. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry.
Abhishek Muthu Krishnan.
Yeah, Krishna. Hey, Krishna, thank you so much for leaving a reply, man. Thank you.
Muthu Krishnan.
Muthu Krishna. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, thank you so much for putting a comment in our actual stream.
We're just as eagerly waiting for season 2 of Moving.
We are also, man. Thank you for tuning in. If you want us to review a certain show, it doesn't matter if it's not current. We'll do it because we watched a lot of movies and dramas. So. But thank you again, and thank you ZZ for tuning in directly. Now here we go. Like in Renfield, though, I did feel like he was having Nicolas Cage was having a great time playing the role. Yeah, and weirdly, it didn't feel that over the top to me.
Yeah,
like that scene where he was in that after burn and during healing makeup. Hey, that shit was actually pretty good. That was pretty convincing. And he was pretty intimidating and funny at the same time too. I felt, And I also like that bitch ass son of the gangster mom.
Yeah.
Because like, I think that dude knew exactly what this movie was. He played I first thought it was bad acting, but I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he just doesn't give a fuck, and then he plays it like such a over the top, and I liked him too.
We're giving a lot of shout out to Nicolas Cage, but we also have to give a lot of shout out to Nicholas Hoult, because just like Nicolas Cage, I mean, when I see him, I still see him as a very young actor for some reason, but if we think about it, we've seen him for quite some time now, like more than a decade, and we've seen him from X-Men and all sorts of things, and we see him also in a lot of different spectrum. His roles have a very broad spectrum. Recently, I saw this like a time-killing movie with Angelina Jolie called "Those Who Wish I Were Dead" or something.
No, I saw that one.
Yeah, and he plays this piece of shit mercenary kind of guy.
Well.
Yeah, and he also plays that role real well. In this movie, he plays this assistant of Dracula. So I also gotta say that he plays. He was more than good in the role he played in Renfield, just like Nicolas Cage. I also love the fact that they're both called Nick.
Yeah. No, but I do feel like I'm gonna criticize this movie a little. I felt like the script was very weak. The script was very weak.
I think the first like 30% of the movie was pretty good.
But that's based on the premise, though. Like, I like the premise. I like the alcohol, like anonymous style meeting of suicidal people, like an abusive relationship. I liked all of that, except it didn't. It didn't go anywhere.
I wish the story would actually focus more on Renfield and Dracula's relationship and how abusive it really is, because when he talks in the AA meeting, and then it's kind of hard to be convinced that he was having such a horrible relationship, even when we hear him speak in the AA. I mean, when he's in the AA meeting,
I don't know, but
it doesn't feel so severe.
I think you mentioned something really well, but I just feel like the reason why we like Boys is because it mixes those hilarious, stupid, dark moments with those character-driven, deep thing, right? And it goes back and forth. I think that's really hard to pull off. I have a simpler solution for this movie. Just go even more stupid.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna do this, then they should have gone even crazier towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because we already have, they already established a setting where Dracula's assistant is like a kung fu master, and he eats what? Bugs? Cockroaches?
Yeah.
To get power, and he goes to AA meetings. So why stop there?
Yeah.
And I hope we got to see some more crazy stuff with Dracula when he gets into action.
Yeah.
Like, for example, instead of cooperating with the gang, like, take them over. Like, take over the whole thing, grow into like a crime syndicate or something. I don't know. They should have gone crazier with this.
Yeah, I feel like this hamburger had the bun and the beef, but it didn't have the lettuce and the tomato to give it that flavor. And it's a movie we've seen before a lot. They just added the violence, so it felt like, for me, watching one of those Resident Evil movies after the first one. They're all the same.
Yeah.
There's some action, some drama, and then some gunfire and some. No, but here, I guess these days, like, choreographing like a fight scene is really not easy. Because we live in an age of John Wick. It's either that or super CG, where the studio spent $100 million to make this look amazing. So what can you bring in between, right?
They were vampires, remember? So I was hoping we would see something a little more gruesome.
We did see a lot of things gruesome. Do you remember that motel scene with the SWAT team? Like,
I was thinking like draining blood remotely or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what
the kind of scene we see in the cinematics of Diablo, like 4 or something. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And but one of my favorite scenes was like, excuse me, at Nicholas Holt's new house, and there's this back and forth with him
And Dracula.
yeah, and then he brings up the book of I'll call it was what is this? And then he sees the church about of course. And there are like dumb, stupid moments, but they were very rare. That's the problem. I felt like maybe there should have been more ad libs. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they edited it out or it wasn't good. I don't know. But I just felt like I like the. I think. Similar to you, you're saying more dramatic moments, but I want to change how I phrase it. I just wanted more interaction between Nicolas Cage, Dracula, and Renfield. Like, play with that slave and master thing even more, and have stupid moments more.
Yeah.
Like, cause Awkwafina, like she's fine, except like they put so many characters in a 1 hour and 30 minute movie without like much substance.
Yeah. So, like you said, maybe they should just focus more on their relationship.
Yeah, or it could have been bad versus bad, where Renfield just steals something from Dracula, makes his own bug army or something, and have war
that
with.
Could also work.
And it could be a comedy like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You know, where like our focus is clear. You know, the bad guys or whatever are just like props. So the drama holds on to these two people's back and forth. Here, like the tension was really lost between the animosity of Nicolas Cage and Renfield when Awkwafina came in and had her own whole story with this mafia.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that should have been even shorter. And then, you know...
It could have been better if it was a black comedy, like you say. We focus on the two, just like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And they together drive each other to destruction. And in the end, after the destruction, they kind of have this like make-up moment. Because this is like a complete love and hate relationship.
Or make it even funnier where they're after the makeup, they're in a boat, and Renfield just pushes Dracula. Like his what do you call it?
The coffin?
Yeah, the coffin to the ocean. And then, like, at the end credit scene, he just pops back up again and say, Renfield! Or it could have been like this. Like, so they're in, like, sort of a narcissistic relationship, right? It would have been funnier if Dracula is like, I might get another familiar, you know? And play with that. Am I cheating or not cheating? And then, like, it would be more funny if there was like, Renfield says something like, I know about Anastasia, you know, Catherine, the famous drag queen. Maybe I'll go serve her. And, like, Dracula goes, that bitch! You know, I'm the first! And they're like, you know, like, make it a real, like, relationship drama with dark comedy elements.
Yeah. So... I think the problem for me at the end was that, like you say, Awkwafina and Renfield joined forces to attack Dracula. I did not like that dynamic. Yeah. No.
I didn't mind that. If they're gonna do that, add another 30 minutes. Because the Awkwafina thing felt like I've seen all this. We've seen all this before, where you know your father was a police who was justice. He or she died. You're the child of this said police, and then you're trying to bring justice. It's one of those famous like cop drama tropes, and I guess it wasn't bad. It's just this is one of those movies. As soon as I saw it, I erased the file. Where I know I'm not gonna see it again. You know, it's weird because it wasn't bad. It just there's a part of me that's kind of disappointed. You know that they didn't utilize Nicolas Cage and Nick Hoult enough. You know,
because they could bring a lot more.
Yeah, they have a lot of range.
Yeah.
So it could have been a funny drama where they play with our expectations, where Dracula is serious again, and we know Nicolas Cage is a capable actor that can bring that, and then it becomes funny again. You know, sort of and then that cheerleader gag should have been like really happened. You know how like Dracula's like, give me cheerleaders, give me innocence, and then like I felt like they should have played with that more, where Dracula keeps tasting the victim. It's like 2% innocence. Thank you, Renfield. Do you want me to die? Like they have like what do you call it? They need insulin. There's like insulin sensitivity or things. There's so many things you can do with a writing like that.
Yeah. So it feels like they wasted a lot of potential. I mean, yes, it was okay, but is this the best that could have been? Absolutely not. They could have delivered a lot more, especially with the idea and also with those two actors.
Yeah, I think they oversold the premise a little.
Mm.
Like, but in the end, like, they didn't bring anything new, and that's that.
Mm.
So let's give a number grade, man.
Out of 10, I would give this movie like a 5. I would give it a 5.
Man, you're generous.
Mm.
I give this 3 or 4. There were scenes that if I saw it in a YouTube clip, I would have enjoyed it.
Mm.
You know, but I give it a, you know what? I give it a 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, cause yeah, fuck it. Don't watch this movie. You don't have to. I mean, if you like the if you like the vampire genre, you can watch it.
Mm.
It's another addition that you can enjoy because it's not bad.
It's a fresh take on the idea of Dracula.
No, it's not a fresh take at all. The premise is fresh, and it sucks. You know, I think Renfield has been done in other series though. There's always Dracula slave thing going on. Not might be Renfield the guy from the novel, but you know there's always that familiar and stuff. Like in Blade, remember there are always these familiars, and maybe that premise is just not enough to write a deep story. Oh, there is a funny movie that deals with familiar and Dracula. It's the one that Tiki Wahiti directed. There is one that's done really funny.
Is it old?
It's in the 2000s, but it's the movie that made him famous.
Okay, ZZ says you should watch the original Dracula, then compare them. Well,
What do you mean original drama? Do you mean the
one
first
with-
one ever, the black and white one?
or the one with Gary Oldman?
Oh, look, I think his idea is the best vampire movie ever. Oh, what we do in the shadows, 2014. What we do in the shadows is a hilarious vampire movie about like vampires and one familiar that served them, and it's.
The Romanian one?
Oh, you mean the one with the bald guy? You know, with this, remember? With the long claws, no stuff, no Sferastu. Oh, you mean Bram Stoker's 1992?
No, that's Gary Oldman.
No, but I think he is originally from Romania. That's what he means.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, original with Matrix too. Matrix is in there. Is Anthony Hopkins in that one?
What Matrix?
No, because he's in there. Remember in Dracula, 1992, Matrix guy is in there. Neo's the handsome guy that gets kidnapped by the three women vampires.
I just remember Gary Oldman
Yeah.
and the intro with that red tint.
Yeah, because it's
Kind of
iconic.
Yeah.
The intro everybody knows. The actual movie's pretty good too, but yeah, we can talk about that next time. Really? Oh, it has actual Romanian actors there. They play the character roles. Oh, interesting. We didn't know that. I didn't know it was authentic Romania, but that is interesting. No, ZZA, thank you for the advice. Maybe we will do a movie of like best vampire movie ever, excluding Twilight.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Twilight. I'm not really willing to.
Well, the first one's actually not bad.
Really?
I think so. I think the Twilight got a little too bashed.
It was too overhyped, and I only saw like fragments of the first movie on TV, and that's it.
The first one's alright, I think.
I saw them play baseball and just turned it off.
Oh, you don't like baseball?
Well, it was like it wasn't even baseball because they could hit the ball so hard, it went so far.
Hey guys, I feel like we should have done a podcast today on Nicolas Cage. Yeah, because maybe we will next time though. Best actor. Hey, but anyway, that's our take on Renfield. We do not recommend this unless you love vampire movies. If you do, please watch it.
Or unless you're a huge fan of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for today.
That's it for today. Yeah, and
we'll see you.
Yeah,
next
this has
week.
been JoeJin Movie So Awesome.
Joe.
Jin.
No, let's change it. You go this time. Let's try it near something.
Okay, so this has been JoeJin Movie So Awesome.
I was Joe.
I was Jin. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what we talked about, leave comments, press like, subscribe.
Thank you, ZZ, for pressing that like.
Yeah,
man.
and thanks for ZZ.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.